Hey guys, it's Anthony Scott and
J-Luck, Wisconsin Hypnosis Center and Apple Valley Hypnosis.
And what's really cool about hypnosis is if you're sick and tired of doing a bad habit, if you're sick and tired of not being in healthy habits, what are we going to do, Jay?
We're going to teach you how to change that. If you think about it like this, anything you do without having to think about it is a habit. So when you drive your car, you don't wonder where your feet are. You don't wonder about the rules of the road. It's a habit. If you're a good driver, no tickets and no accidents, well, then you do that really well. So that's how bad habits are as well. We do them without even thinking about it, but they're in our way to get a goal. So we teach you how to change those habits.
What are some of the common questions you get when it comes to hypnosis, Jay?
Well, first of all, they think it's a myth. In other words, like in the movies, they'll play hypnotist as a way that they play it as though hypnotists can make you do anything, including stab your neighbor in the eyeball, right? That's a myth. That is not true at all. Hypnosis has been around for 3,000 years. In fact, the word hypnosis sounds like sleep, and it's really not even sleeping. So when people do a session, they're actually aware of what's going on the entire time we do the session. They're not in a trance where they don't know what happens. So they're totally aware of what's happening, but physically they're very relaxed. The Wikipedia definition basically says you're physically very relaxed and open to suggestions of something you want. That's really how hypnosis works.
Now, you get a lot of people saying, am I going to remember the session? Do I know what's going on?
And that is a common question. And yes, they do remember the session. So when people come in the office and they want to have us help with some of the things we help with, they're volunteering, first of all, and they have a goal that they want. So when we're doing the sessions, as long as I'm dealing with the topic they want to solve, they grab all that. And it becomes a new belief and a new value, and they get new habits that fit getting the goal. If I say in the middle of the session, give me your car keys, they're obviously not going to.
You can't make people do stuff against their will. They are going to remember it, and they are going to have a good result at the end of it.
That's how it works. Because we're teaching people how to be in control of their subconscious mind so that then they can get the goals that they want. It's really that. If you think of someone who's very successful, they've developed habits, patterns, beliefs, strategies, and values that help them get the goal. Well, that's how all goals happen.
People can come to you to achieve those goals faster, correct? To eliminate those either limiting beliefs or like maybe roadblocks.
Yes. Those are all great terms that make perfect sense for what we do.
Yeah.
Limiting beliefs. Like if somebody walks around and goes, I can't possibly lose that weight, well, then they've already decided that.
Oh, so then they wouldn't be a good candidate for hypnosis.
Well, I teach them how to change that. So that they now believe. Well, I'll give you an example. Here's some great quotes. See if you can think of who this is. I knew that if I told the world I was the greatest, I would be. Who's that quote? Muhammad Ali.
Really?
His name was Cassius Clay before he became Muhammad Ali. His father always told him he would amount to nothing. So somewhere along his life, someone told him that if you keep saying these things, you can beat those beliefs. He became the best boxer in the world. Let's take Henry Ford. He said this to his own son. If you believe you can do a thing or you believe you can't, you're right. So think about how we think.
I like that.
The way that we think determines our outcomes. And I teach our clients how to change the way they think so that those outcomes become rather easy. We've been doing this for 39 years. We have literally 10,000 testimonials between video and written where there's evidence that this works. Every one of those clients got their goals by learning to control their subconscious mind.
Wow. That is like a couple lessons in one. That is awesome. Would somebody that's a creative or really artistic be a good candidate for hypnosis, or are they actually better candidates for hypnosis?
I would say better. If you think about how our brains work, right? People that are, let's say, intellectuals, and when I mean intellectuals, I mean people that are really book smart. Maybe they've got a few degrees. They're tougher clients. And I'll tell you why I say that. Not because they're not smart, but because they're book smart. I had a client come in one time to quit smoking, and he's telling me how dumb he is, right? I'm going, wait a minute, the guy's not as dumb as he says because he keeps saying he's dumb. So while he's filling out some paperwork, I look him up online and I find out he owned 20 manufacturing companies in Wisconsin, little manufacturing companies. I come back in and I go, dumb as what? He goes, what do you mean? I said, I looked you up. He says, I never graduated from 8th grade. He says, but when I find a company I like, if I like the product and I'm comfortable with the people, he says, then I bring in my attorneys and my accountants to tell me if the deal makes sense. So honest to gosh, my best clients are everyday people. They learn quicker than a lot of the super intellectuals. And I'm not saying I can't help an intellectual, but they tend to take a little bit longer to get the point.